Welcome to another one of our silly reviews. But yeah, we just saw the new Thor one, Love and Thunder, earlier today. Unfortunately, we got to do this online, but it is what it is.
Jams has the Rona.
The Rona.
Jams is me.
He has a hardware store?
Yeah,
so
I'm showing. I was on Sunday. I was showing symptoms of a hardware store.
Oh, nice. You have to put drywall on and.
Yeah, one of the new symptoms of COVID is you leaking drywall from your ass.
Oh, nice. That's weird.
It's so fucking stupid coming out of my mouth. But alright.
Really also, I like how you refer to yourself. I like how, like Chad, you refer to yourself in the third person for some reason.
Well, someone's got to do it because apparently someone fucked off to Europe and didn't tell anyone.
Yep, someone's across the pond. It's great.
Would have been nice if he said, "Hey, the International Council of Chads has their conference in Europe. I'm going there. Bye." Instead of just nothing.
No, because
then being like, "Hey, Chad, where are you?" And he's like, "Europe." I'm like, "Cool, thanks for telling me."
Because that's the most Chad thing to do. You just go.
You just go and don't tell anyone. Yeah.
Then they're like, "Hey, you wanna fucking do something this weekend?" He's like, "I can't.
Yeah.
I'm way over there."
And then, like, you and me are just like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly.
Alright.
But yeah,
we saw Thor today, and
yeah,
it was better than Morbius, so you need to go see it.
That's impossible. Nothing's better than Morbius.
No. You shut up.
That's the best movie. The best movie of a fucking century. But yeah.
No, it ain't.
But yeah, we saw the new Thor. Yeah, I mean it was all right. I guess we can do like we usually do, just non-spoilers, and then we'll say spoilers. You know, we'll say when we're gonna do the spoilers or whatever, so you can go watch it if you haven't already yet. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good as we came out. It's not like a top 5 Marvel movie or anything, or even like the best one, but
no, God no.
Yeah,
not even close. It was better than Eternals, though.
Look at this mess.
Yeah, but I mean that's not that hard.
It
to
actually
do.
like is the only one with any
Just clean up this
character development.
Yeah.
Like no one else got any character development.
Hulk, remember, you can transform
Yeah,
back to normal
somewhat.
if you calm down.
I mean, I guess Jane. I don't know if you wanna.
Well,
I mean, it's in the trailers, I guess. Like, I don't know if it's the most amazing thing in the world because you haven't seen her for like what? I don't. She wasn't in Thor, the previous one.
Thor: The Dark World. That's that's the last MCU movie she was in.
Yeah, I know, but I was saying she wasn't in Thor 3 Ragnarok or whatever.
No.
Need something
Whoa! So that's what that
What else?
button does.
Yeah, she was in Thor 1 and 2. She wasn't in any of like the other Avengers or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I don't know. Like it wasn't. Like it's not amazing or anything.
Yeah.
Could have been. I don't know. It's kind of like Doctor Strange, right? It's like not the most amazing thing, but it's all right.
I'd say I liked it a little better than Ragnarok. It was pretty short for an MCU movie, to be honest.
Was it? It was like 2 hours-ish, right?
Yeah.
It's like normally how they are.
Or was it 2 hours? Okay, then maybe it was pretty average length, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
The villain I mean, it's already shown, I guess, right?
Gore, yeah.
Yeah, Gore. I felt like they could have used him a little bit better. I don't know. Not that he was like bad or anything, but just like
Yeah.
That looks like
they're just sort of like I felt like it was kind of like underutilized a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
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 And I'm like, oh, like it would have been cool to see like more cooler fights or whatever
looks like you'll have to
with
get
him.
past Abomination to get
Because I know like in the comics and all that, he's just like this badass like
Threw that car like it was some kind of toy.
Big
Big guy.
you know,
You better
villain.
handle this.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like not as not as badass or anything like that in this one. Like I don't know too much about him. Like I don't even really know like his powers, I guess, in the comics. But so I was a little bit surprised to see, you know, him do stuff. Or what exactly he did. But I know, or at least I thought he was like super powerful in the comics, and then this one is just sort of. I mean, I guess that happens in all MCU. Where they're like just super OP in the comics, but then MCU they're just kind of like, oh, here he is.
Yeah.
He's not as not as powerful.
Just as well I charged my batteries this morning. I think it's gonna be a long day.
I don't know. I thought the worlds were pretty cool. I thought like the plot or whatever wasn't. I mean, it's okay. It was interesting. Oh god. What else? Characters were. Yeah, I mean everything else was pretty cool. I
this
thought.
might require some extra muscle power.
I mean, there was some weird parts with the villain at times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, why are they doing this with him? What else? Acting was like, okay. I don't know, it doesn't have like super... What's the word, like... I don't want to say not connectivity, what's the word? Like, it doesn't really... Like the multiverse stuff, like, is like, oh, that's all like... You know, that sort of changes a lot of the MCU. Like, this movie doesn't really change, I feel like, the MCU that much.
No, and like... Kevin Feige had even gone on to say, like, the next Thanos level threat will start to reveal itself in the coming months. And I thought maybe we would get a glimpse of that with Thor in the Thor movie, but obviously not.
Right. Like, just like coming months, this one was relatively...
Yeah.
You know, I guess, I don't know when he said that or when you had watched that article or whatever it was. But I assume probably... What is even their next big movie?
I think I'll give you a
I don't even think they've announced it, right? Or no?
No.
sand everywhere.
I mean,
This won't be a day at the beach.
they actually did find their director for Captain America 4.
Oh yeah, I just saw that when I was scrolling through Facebook.
Yeah, and they got the guy that did Cloverdale. I'm looking at this and I'm like, was no one good available?
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter at that point though, because like, what's it called? Like
You can't beat me. I've already won.
like what's it called? Like, cause like at some point, like yeah, there's different directors, but then like they all have to go through like the Marvel, whatever it's called, like, you know what I mean? Like they have to go through all the same Marvel thing anyway. So I don't know. Like it's funny because yeah, I saw that they were gonna, was it Captain America 4 or whatever?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of wish they didn't call it Captain America. I understand, like, I guess he took the mantle. I don't know.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
that's
someone
just-
had to.
I know, but it's just sort of like, you have to call him Captain America? Can't you just be like, it's a fucking Falcon guy? There was some pretty cool, like, scenes and shots. They went to, like, you know, different planets or whatever here and there. Well, it's like, the acting was okay. It was weird at times. There was lots of, like, I don't know if this is spoilers, but there was lots of, like, oh, this person's, oh shit, oh, this person died, this person's dead? Oh, fuck. And then it's just kind of like, oh, no, they're not. And you're like, oh, okay. It happens, like, 3 times in this movie. No, 4 times. There's, like, and you're like, oh my god, they're dead? Oh, jeez, nice. Or not nice, but like, holy crap, wow. And then they're just kind of like, wait, no, wait, they're still alive?
People are calling this like a cookie cutter MCU movie, and I can see why.
Yeah. I know, yeah, I saw that you were saying that.
Scheduled arrival in the main
Yeah.
terminal.
But I don't know. I don't really feel like, I don't feel like it's a cookie cutter, but, I mean, it's definitely, yeah, it's not. Like we said, it's not like Spider-Man, it's no Endgame, Avengers or whatever. But like we have said before, we have mentioned that they did say that they aren't going to do any more of those, at least for a time. Because I mean, even for Marvel, like, I mean, just like the cost, like it does make a lot of money, but just I just can't imagine like how much money it costs to make that stuff too, like to get all those actors and
Looks like the writing's on
the
the
CGI
wall for
and
you
to get them
guys.
all into like one, you know what I mean? Like it must cost so much. The expense on that is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, like, these movies, they make back their budget within, like, opening night or something like that.
I mean, for sure, but still, like,
Down to a good spot for
even
some
like I said, even
volleyball
for
next
Marvel,
week.
like it's like Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
It still must like cost a lot because like all these actors, for like, you know, whatever it is, like millions of movies or whatever. Well, it's kind of like Tony Stark, right? Like he's had, this is his 4th movie. He's had like progression from Thor 1 to Thor 4, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like, it's good to see, because Thor 1 and 2 were just kind of meh, just kind of bad, like for Marvel standards.
For which one?
Thor 1 and 2.
Yeah. You didn't like the first Thor movie?
I didn't mind it, but I know that lots of people like, or I didn't like hate it, but I know lots of people were like, oh, it's not that good compared to like the other ones that came out.
Yeah, like Iron Man.
Yeah, I think that's like the general consensus, is that it's not like people are like and then Thor 2, like, because he was just kind of like bland and stuff. Any other thoughts?
I'd say like what they did with Gore was just kind of done. Like you go to, well, no, like he didn't get enough time. I felt.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. Like you go to all this trouble to get like Christian freaking Bale. You get hit, like this is his first MCU movie and you don't really use him. Like his character is a good character, but there was just some weird things about it. Like it's like, oh no, I can't. We're doing the non-spoiler version. Fuck.
Yeah.
I can't even talk about the beginning of the movie. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, obviously we can get to it when we get to it, but yeah, no, I completely agree with you there too. Like he just doesn't. Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. That's the thing with like comics too, and like, which I mean, it's crazy that Marvel like they've been able to do this before, where like, you know, like it's or it's like it's even more crazy to think about how good a job that they've been doing beforehand. Even though it's kind of gone down a little bit recently because of Endgame and Infinity War were so good that like,
Yeah.
it's crazy how good that they have been doing before, where like they have all these comics and they're able to just make like to do you know, on the most part, on average, pretty good justice to the characters on just like 2-hour movies, right?
Yeah.
And this
But
is, yeah, and
Yeah,
like
but then
in
you
this movie,
get the odd, you get the odd one
Mhm.
where they, yeah, they just don't do the character justice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it goes to show just how even for a studio like Disney or Marvel, where like, yeah, it's hard to do like consistently. Like you gotta be able to like, you know, what I mean, like do it really well. And this one just didn't hit the mark on some of the stuff that they're trying to do. Other stuff was really good, but yeah, like especially if you're like I said, I knew of Gore in the comics before, and I knew a little bit, like he had to verse Thor, and they have like that epic battle or something. And I can't remember if it's like Thor does die or Thor almost dies or something, versing him in the comics.
I think I read something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just super hard to do because like, yeah, the comics have so many runs and issues and like, you know, countless hours of, you know what I mean, like 100 plus pages or whatever it is, or 100 issues, and then you have to like condense that all into just a 2-hour movie. You have to do like an origin story of villain.
I have to be honest. That's a hard job.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. You have to think if you think about it, right? You have to do an origin story, then you gotta set up like the conflict, and then you have to like do a fight, and it's pretty hard to do consistently in like a bunch of different movies.
Pretty much.
But yeah, so I don't know. I guess we can just give a final rating, and then we can just give our final rating, and then do the spoilers if you want to.
Sure.
Unless you have more to say.
I give it like maybe like an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's fairly decent. I think I'd probably say the same, a 7 or 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it definitely has weaknesses and all that. But it's still like a solid, I'd still say it's a solidly good movie. You should go out and watch if you haven't already. And yeah, so that's it for the non-spoilers, so we can get into the spoilers if you want to now. Yeah, this is your warning. If you haven't gone and seen it, go see it. We would definitely recommend you to go watch it. But yeah, so now on to spoilers. Do you want to say what you wanted to say before, or?
Yeah, it's just like very beginning, like Gore is like, I guess, fucking homeless with his daughter.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and then he like dies, or she dies, and then he like wanders and just finds this fucking like utopia out of nowhere. And then he finds this god who's like, hey, you suck, but worship me anyway. And like, he's like, yeah, I stopped that guy. That sword can kill me. By the way, it's right there.
Yeah.
And then the god almost kills Gore, and then like the sword magically goes into his hand.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, I thought he was gonna.
Now that I'm explaining this, it sounds like nitpicking, but like, it's like a little too coincidental how he becomes the villain.
Well, it's not coincidental, but it's sort of like, oh, okay.
I would have rather him like be like an ally first and then become the villain. Like, maybe he shows up in New Asgard and he becomes friends with some of them, and he's with his daughter, and then something happens and his daughter gets killed, and he blames all of them, and then he decides to kill gods or whatever. Like, but like, I just thought that was so weird. It's like, oh, he's gonna die. Oh no! Wait, that sword just showed up in his hand.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, I thought they were gonna do it to where like it would have made a little bit more sense to where like, let's say the first god guy in that Oasis thing, it would have made more sense if you. I mean, it still would have been kind of dumb because he's like, hey, that sword, he was gonna kill me with it, and there it is. But like, it would have been a little bit better if the god was just like laughing at him and like, ha, you suck or whatever, and then Christian Bale decides to turn around and grab it.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been cooler. But then the sword just like magically goes to his hand, and he's like, okay, I killed you now.
Yeah, and then that's it. We don't hear from him for a while, and then like Thor is with the Guardians, and they're like, oh yeah, there's that God Butcher guy. He's been killing gods for like fucking years. And I'm just like, what?
Well, I don't think it was hundreds of years. It must have been like recent or something.
No. Recent, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, they just happen to like, oh, let's see what's going on in the galaxy. Oh, all these gods are fucking dying. Oh,
yeah,
that guy. Do you know that guy, Thor? Like,
yeah, I know, it was kind of funny. They're just like, oh, okay.
I'm like definitely nitpicking here.
Yeah.
But like these MCU movies were so much better.
Yeah.
With like handling their characters, and like Eternals was boring. Eternals had no character development because they were too busy introducing everyone as a character.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was like 800 of them.
Yeah, and like No Way Home, well, like all of their villains were villains from previous movies.
Right.
Right? So like the
Wait, which one?
I guess the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, they're all from previous pre-MCU Marvel movies. So like the last movie that had like kind of like characters or like a plot that was like more cohesive or made a little more sense, I guess was it Avengers? I'm trying to figure out what happened, like what movie came after Endgame.
Endgame?
Like, what was the first thing that came out? It was WandaVision.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess the TV show, yeah. WandaVision.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came out.
And
that was really cool. That was really cool. That was a slow burn. That was like it started off kind of boring, and then it got really interesting. And like, I just feel like this guy, Gore, he just like became the villain like almost immediately.
Yeah, it was kind of. I mean, because like I said, that's sort of like the critique I was saying earlier, where like you have to establish the origin story for him and then do this and do that. Like that sort of, yeah, that's where it falls flat, where he's just sort of like, you gotta have this contrived thing where it's like, okay, one guy fucked you over as a god, and then he's like, alright, all gods must die, I guess. Even though like later on in the movie, where like when they discover that he's killing gods or whatever, and Thor like goes to like that ice planet or whatever, and there's like that big it looked like a giant monster or whatever, and then one of the guys is like, oh, what is that? And Thor's like, that's so and so name, and he's the most nicest god you would have ever met, or something. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like I guess he just Gore guy just doesn't care, and he's just killing whoever. No. Yeah. Even if the gods aren't assholes, because some of them are, like as we see later on in the show too.
Yeah, and like
God Palace. It
was kind of cool seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy in like the first little part of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I thought there were gonna be more.
Yeah.
There's gonna be more Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're just like, yeah, there's just like that thing in the beginning, and then that was it.
Yeah, like maybe that's why I thought it was weird. It's like they were in like 2 scenes.
Yeah. He basically like helps them like with this mission thing, and then they just peace out later. that scene in the trailer where like one of the first trailers where like what's his name, like Quill is giving him like a pep talk, is giving Thor a pep talk, and he's like, when you look at people in the eye, the ones that you love or whatever, and then he's looking at him, and then like Thor's like trying to get into his eyesight.
Yeah.
Literally like 2 seconds later, like they just leave, and then that's it, and you're like, oh, okay. Like I would have loved to see
I will say a big plus to this movie was its humor.
For sure.
Because like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame were not, they really did not have much humor, because it was so serious. No, I'm serious. Serious in tone. Same with No Way Home, especially how it ended. Like the one of the really good things this movie had going for itself was its use of humor. And like, I know other people are gonna complain like, well, it was too much humor. No, fuck you. Okay? Like, sometimes you need like, as much as I'm critiquing this movie, sometimes you need a fun, funny movie. Okay? Right? So take that, toxic MCU fans. Go whine and go whine and complain with the Star Wars fandom. You have lots in common.
Yeah, not every movie can be Black Widow or whatever the fuck. Where it's like super serious. Like,
was it getting tortured? Yeah, that was also super serious too.
Yeah, I mean, there was some funny stuff in it. Yeah, I don't know.
Because
like,
most of the MCU stuff has been quite serious. Definitely.
I mean, they always throw in jokes here and there on a lot of them.
Yeah, but like not like this movie, where there was like almost a joke every second.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like a lot of
But I feel like that was a good thing, though. That was a good thing. Because Doctor Strange was serious in tone, too.
Oh yeah, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it had, like, the odd joke, but... Anyway, you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like... I mean... I don't know. I don't like to watch, like, or... I only watch reviews or, like... what's it called? Look at critics or whatever. I only do that like after the fact. After I watch a movie, I don't really like to like look at it beforehand. Yeah. So I haven't seen any of those stuff. But if people are actually saying that, like, I guess they didn't watch Thor Ragnarok because that was like, I don't know, that was like that was what probably Thor's best movie. Plus that had a whole bunch of jokes in it. Plus it was way more like Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. As opposed to like the recent Thor, or as opposed to like Thor Dark World or Thor 1 or whatever. So I don't know. I don't feel like that criticism is valid in that way, but yeah, like along with that gore thing, like I don't know, like I mentioned in the thing in the, I guess, the non-spoilers, but like, yeah, along with the origin story thing, like, yeah, he just is underused. Yeah. He just doesn't, I don't know. like he just sort of, they do have kind of like cool, interesting fights with him that they have with Thor, and then also obviously, what's her name, female Thor. Mighty Thor, I guess, whatever her name is.
Lady Thor.
Yeah. I wish there was kind of like a cooler, like one more cool epic fight between them. Like on the moon or whatever. Where they're just going like all out and then Thor goes like crazier. Cause yeah, I know in the comics I think it gets like super crazy in the fight between them, I think. Like I said, I kind of wish I knew, at least read or knew more of it, because then maybe I'd be able to like articulate it better, and maybe I would like understand the difference. Like, because I don't even know, like, does he even have the same powers in the comics? Like, I literally don't even know. Like, are those his powers? Like the Shadow Realm powers or whatever the fuck? The sword powers?
Apparently that sword can kill gods.
No, I know. It happens in the show.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, like, in the comics too. And in the comics, like, Jane actually is Lady Thor.
Yeah, no, I know.
But I don't think she actually dies. But she does have cancer in the comics as well.
Oh, okay.
I have to check that.
Yeah, so she has like cancer in this one, and then she becomes Thor. I thought it was gonna be like kind of a bullshit explanation, where it's just sort of like, she's dying, so, and you know, with the power of belief or whatever the fuck, I can become Thor now.
Yeah, no, but
the
but what they did was
speaking
kind
to
of, yeah, like that's, I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I mean, it wasn't as bullshit, cause like, cause at first I was like, okay, yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? But then they show like a cutscene where like Thor, between her and Jane, as they're dating, he whispers to like Mjolnir and he's like, please keep her safe as best as you can, or whatever the fuck, I think.
Yeah.
And then she like gets or like Mjolnir like carves like a symbol into it.
Yeah.
Which I guess that means she can become female Thor later on. Or whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. What else?
Was this when they were dating?
Yeah, this is like a flashback.
Oh
cutscene.
shit, that's how they explain it.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I guess
gotcha.
it was just sort of like a... I guess that sort of allowed Mjolnir to be wielded by her.
Yeah, so that explains why she's able to put it back together.
Yeah, which that was kind of, it was kind of cool, but it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because she's able to wield Mjolnir, but she can wield it while it's broken.
Looks like...
and she uses it multiple times.
No, seriously, it looks like when, like, you've broken one of your toys when you're a kid, you tried to tape it back together again. Like, you can see all the cracks in it, too, like, or, like, you've tried to, like, fucking glue something back together and it doesn't look the same.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Because, like, there's multiple times where she, like, pulls it out, and then, like, she uses it, like, in fights where it just, like, breaks apart. And then she can send it out, breaks apart, hits people, and then recall it back in, and then send it. And then it just, like, reforms, and it's like, oh, okay. I guess that's a thing now. Oh, yeah, also, yeah, so she thinks, like, that... What's it called? Like, because she has cancer, and, like, I guess everyone else thought, too, that she's cured now. But, like, she still has cancer when she transforms. Or there's a few times where she transforms into, like, just regular Jane.
Like, she looks terrible, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, okay, so she still has, like, cancer and all that.
Yeah.
And, like, oh, okay.
And, like, the longer she's Thor, like, the worse the effects ravage her body.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, I guess. Makes sense. I mean, like, if you were to become a god, I guess, it would take a lot of willpower, and then your body can't fight off cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, like objects, or like, not objects, like weapons. These weapons also have feelings and shit now. And you're like, what? Like, and everyone wields a weapon, and every weapon has feelings and emotions. Like, Mjolnir is fucking wielded by the female Thor now, and who else? Stormbreaker is wielded by normal Thor, and that sword thing that kills gods is wielded by the God Butcher. And also Zeus's wand, or Zeus's thunderbolt thing, too.
Yeah, I thought Zeus kind of sucked. Like, the one, he doesn't look that good. Two, the actor...
It's Gerard Butler,
like,
right?
Like, no, that's not Gerard Butler.
Yeah, it is.
That is like Gerard Butler when you buy him from the fucking dollar store.
No, it is Gerard Butler. You can look it up. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure.
Actor. It's Russell Crowe.
Oh! Okay, yeah, I get those two mixed up. Wait, is it Russell Crowe?
But like, yeah, it is. I just looked it up.
Okay.
But like,
I get those two confused because they're basically the same fucking character.
You know, Zeus shouldn't have a Russian accent.
No, because the thing is, he's... Oh no, Gerard Butler is the one with the accent, I guess. But he's supposed to... Is he English, I guess? No, not English. He's American. Russell Crowe, is he? Or does... No, does Russell Crowe have an accent?
Maybe?
One of the two of those guys has a fucking accent. So it's like, it's him having an accent, trying to do like a Greek accent, I guess. And it does sound really weird and funny. And I was laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, cause yeah, they go to the place where it's like, the God Palace. I thought that part was a little bit weird to me, like they're the God Palace, and it's like the gods from...
Good luck getting past this!
All the,
There's something you don't see every day. A large
what's it called, like, from Humans Past or whatever, right? So, like, Hercules, Zeus, you know, Anubis. I'm surprised, what's their name? Like, the Egyptian ones weren't there from Moon Knight. It'd be cool to see them.
Yeah.
Like the, what's their name? It was like the Chinese one, with like a dragon or whatever.
Oh yeah, the ones from... Yeah, like Shang-Chi?
Was that from Shang-Chi?
Yeah, like from that realm that they went to at the end of the movie, right?
Right, I thought that was like, cause you know like the or no, maybe I'm getting it. Isn't there like a Mexican one where it's like Execordal or something?
Oh, I don't know.
And he's just like a dragon thing?
Yeah, I have no idea.
You should know these things.
Yeah, I probably should, but I don't give a shit.
But yeah,
right.
What happens? So he does that. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. So they go to that place, and then they like, for whatever reason, they like I don't know if you thought it was weird, but like I thought it was really weird. So like immediately they go in and they're like, because they're gonna go ask like the gods for help or whatever, for this fight against the Butcher. And they're like, oh, we can get Zeus and, you know, this and that and all these other characters, and they're like, oh yeah, sick, we'll do that. So they go there, but then it's like, without even talking to them first.
Yeah.
Tessa, the Valkyrie and female Thor are like, let's just go in there and, you know, like just fight and butt heads and smash people. And I'm just like, what? Aren't you guys supposed to be like the smarter ones and not just like the male, you know what I mean? Like, just sort of like male brain where you're just like, me Hulk smash. That's how I solve problems.
Thanks for swinging by,
Like what?
Spider-Man.
they immediately go, let's go to this god place and like let's just forcibly take the Thunderbolt weapon because obviously these guys are just kind of like the gods aren't what we think they are.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And also like there's 100 gods in there. They could stop you. What do you mean?
Yeah.
But no, they just like.
There was a real buzz around your
I'm like,
name,
what?
I thought the fight was cool, like the final fight.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of it's cool. It's funny that they're just like they're kids, but you gotta fight. You're gonna fight now. I'm like, oh okay. Apparently, I don't know if Thor. I don't know if Thor could do this the whole time, or if it was just because he had, like, I don't know if it was because he had, like, Zeus's Thunderbolt thing.
Like that.
Yeah.
But, like, he's able to just give God powers, Thor powers, to, to, like, a bunch of people.
Yeah, I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, same.
That's kind of weird.
It kind of is. It was although it was kind of funny to see like the kids.
Oh, the kids are like
just fighting with their powers.
Stuffed animals shooting lasers out of it. Like
yeah. Everyone chooses like a weapon, and then this one girl like chooses a fucking like
but,
stuffed
like,
bear.
All those looked like weapons. Like they were just weapons laying on the ground.
Yeah. I think it was more like just sticks and stones, but like I don't know where they got it from.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, we have them. Yeah, so yeah, that part was cool. It was just glowing eyes. And I forgot that. I guess that guy had a son. Oh god, I didn't even know. What's his name?
Oh, Heimdall?
Yeah, the
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, since when? like the blind guy that was like the Bifrost teleporter guy.
Sense is tingling.
You know, I have my dad's powers and whatever. Too.
Spider sense again. What is it?
Yeah.
Fight when they're on the moon was pretty cool though.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Like, and it was just like spinning upside down, and then the gore guy can like, he has powers of shadow or something.
Yeah.
I don't even really understand the powers.
Seems like I've got my hands.
But he's able to
full with
fucking. He can summon like grotesque nightmares from shadows and shit, like spiders and.
This guy doesn't give up.
Fucking
Let's find a way
dragons
to
and...
take this thing down.
Yeah. I'm like, alright. I guess you can do that. And then, yeah, they're just like fighting all these, like all three of them were fighting the guy. Yeah, it was really cool when it was like spinning all upside down and all around the globe. It was like a small moon or something, I guess. I don't know what it was.
You can transform back to normal if you calm down.
And then, oh yeah, dude. One of the like I thought it was gonna be kind of annoying, but one of the funniest jokes I guess of the thing was the fucking goats. Jams.
Oh yeah, that was like, that got pretty annoying, I have to say.
It was kind of annoying. It was super annoying in the beginning because they did it like 80 times.
Yeah.
But like, man, it was funny.
I'm melting.
Cause like this one part where they're going to the moon or whatever, and then they just slam into the moon, and you just hear the goats. Rah! They're just like huge goats that just like scream. They're like Rah! Like the entire time.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh okay.
I already have enough problems without getting sand in.
Oh, that was really funny. and then they're screaming, and then like, I think when they first get them, they're just like, you know, like a lot of the members of the Guardians of the Galaxy are just like, we need to kill them.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, and then Thor goes later like, oh, no, they're just screaming like the entire time, and then Thor goes like, oh, you're right, maybe they could be used as meat, and then they just stop talking, they just stop screaming, look at them.
Yeah.
No, I just realized this right now. I guess one of the only other things that was kind of weird. Remember, so like the sword that he has, right, is like the God Butcher.
Yeah.
Sword.
The Necro Sword.
Yeah. And he uses it to kill like all the other ones, and then he just kills that one guy with it by stabbing it, I guess, in his face.
Yeah.
The first guy. But like, in the fight on the moon, he ends up stabbing Valkyrie with it. Remember? And like, do you remember, right? Gore, he like teleports behind Valkyrie and like stabs her in the back. And then I'm like, wait. And then everyone's like, oh, she's dead. But then like, she's not dead. Later. And you're like, oh, okay. That was kind of anticlimactic, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
It's able to kill gods, but it can't kill one that isn't. You know what I mean? Like, she's not a god, she's just like an Asgardian.
Oh yeah.
And also, like, like, Gore's mad at gods or whatever. But like, he ends up going after the Asgardians, and they're just like, they're not gods. What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Spidey says something close by.
That whole thing about like how Korg's species makes kids, like, what the fuck is that?
That was kind of funny.
So like, let me see if I get this straight. His entire species is gay?
I think literally the entire species is just male.
Is male, and so they go into lava, they hold hands for like 6 months, and then they take their hands out of the lava, and there's a fucking rock kid?
Yeah, apparently.
That's so weird.
Yeah, no, that's kind of funny. Cause he also mentions when he's telling that thing too, that they make a baby boy. So I think it's literally like a species where they're only male.
Yeah.
Secure that cosmic brick.
Which is, yeah, that's kind of funny. That
That
got a laugh. But him too. Like, this is what I was saying in the non-spoilers. Like, there's so many times where they just like end up going like,
Hulk, can you help with some of this debris?
oh my god, this guy's dead. But then they're like, no, never mind, no, he's not. Like, Korg gets hit by
Yeah. I
Zeus's-
thought that was it.
yeah,
I thought that
same,
was it
by
for that
Thunderbolt.
guy.
And he gets like this kind of sad, almost death, where he's just like, no, crumbling
Yeah.
apart, and he's like, I'm dying. And
Yeah.
then Thor gets so mad
Like I have time
and
for that.
it returns the favor to Zeus and like pierces, like
Yo, I know. That was fucking sick. Like,
uses his thunderbolt and strikes him right through the chest.
So, who's behind all this? What exactly are they up to? And
And you're like, holy fuck.
yeah.
I don't know. I wish I knew. And yes, Tony. get
And then
back
Thor goes
to
over to
the
Korg, his body, but then you hear Korg talking,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wait, what? And then you pick up his face, and then it's like, his face is still there, and you're like, oh, okay. Well, I guess his face is still there.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I guess he's still alive. So they do that with him. They do that with Valkyrie, where she's not, like, those things can kill gods, but she's fine. Getting stabbed through the chest. She goes to just a hospital, and she's like, I'm alright, I'm fine after. And you think she died. It's funny too, because in the theater that we went to watch, she gets stabbed, and I heard, like, I think it was a woman. She goes, no! She was like the only one that she got stabbed, and I was like, oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
And then it happens to Zeus too,
Hey, don't.
which is like in the end credits, or yeah, one of the end credit scenes, and you're like, what the fuck?
Thank you for saving your Generalissimo, Brigadier.
It was, I don't know.
Excelsior.
Like they do it 3 or 4 times, and you're like, what? Like either they die or they don't die.
Exactly.
Pull up my strings, you bitch. But yeah, but yeah, I guess the whole plot of this thing is Gore, so he wants to kill the gods or whatever, but then he wants to get to Thor to use his not Mjolnir, the hammer, because it has Bifrost. Then he goes to the center of the universe or something? Or galaxy?
Yeah, because if you go to the end of the universe,
right,
the Eternity grants you one wish.
Right.
So, because Gore did end up taking Stormbreaker from him,
Mr. Fantastic himself.
and they got sent back to Earth.
Actually, I could use some help.
But he still had Zeus's Thunderbolt, which I guess teleports people.
Yeah, which I was gonna say, like, wait, how is he able still to get back there? But I guess his Thunderbolt is also able to go wherever
I got an A+ in American history.
to teleport.
Director
Except
Fury, we have
only
confirmation that more of those bricks hit the open
Stormbreaker can only open the gate to where the Eternity or whatever fucking guy
I
is.
want some answers. Cat, you head to the
And
Baxter
then-
building with Reed Richards and help out the best you can.
Yeah, they managed to end up beating him, or they managed to end up like beating him and taking out, like, they're like, you have to kill the sword because that's the source of his power, and they managed to do that.
Order in some Schwartz.
But then while they do that, the door opens to the thing, and he's able to crawl through. And then they get
Yeah.
teleported to like, kind of like where Thanos was, when he took which one was it? The Soul Stone,
Yeah.
where it's like a water, where it's like a thing or whatever, like a space, and there's water beneath you. And then like Thor is basically just like, you won. You won, Gore.
Yeah.
And then, because female Thor decides to go back and help, but the thing is, if she did it one more time, she's basically gonna die because of the cancer or whatever. And somehow she's able to, from across the universe, when Thor is fighting Gore, she's able to sense that he's losing the fight.
Yeah.
So some Mjolnir is there, and then she decides to go fucking help him.
Yeah.
Like, essentially sacrificing herself to help. Basically, like, a lot of his villains, he goes like, he just like, doesn't really defeat them, he just goes like, he basically like turns them good, type of thing.
Ah.
Where he's like, instead of beating them, he just goes like, I'll fight you with love, and then you turn good. And that's sort of what he does to Gore too. Where he's just like,
Right.
he's like, I could fight you or whatever, but you won already, so I'm gonna spend my last moments with female Thor because she's dying or whatever. And then Gore has like a change of heart. Because he also tells him like, because I guess his original plan, I guess, was to, his one wish was to kill all the gods or something, to erase them maybe. But then Thor like reminds him that it's your one wish, you can do anything with it. You could bring her back. And I'm like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Even I was like, wait, yeah, what?
But then he didn't do that.
Hmm?
He didn't bring Jane back, he brought his daughter back, right?
No, I know, but no, that's what he meant. He's like, you can bring your daughter back. And I was like, wait, yeah, you could do that the whole time. Why are you like, you could just bring her back because it's like a wish for anything.
Yeah. And so obviously that's what happened.
Yeah. He watches Jane die. She's like, you can die.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm bringing this bitch back. So he brings like his daughter back.
So that's like basically the movie ends with Thor being Gore's daughter's parent.
Yeah, because Jane dies, so now he lost one, and then
yeah,
Gore brings his daughter back, but then he dies. So yeah, and he's just like, all right, I guess I'm just the parent now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. And then I was sitting there in the theater and I was like, wait, Thor also made it to the end, to the thing. Why couldn't he just have wished for Jane to come back, or for the cancer to go away? But then he did. I guess it's only one per group. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has powers or something too now, but she can shoot stuff from her eyes. Shoot purple powers or something.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it does.
The power of purple. That's what it does.
It's a pretty great power. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, do you know anything of that? Is that true in the comics?
No, I don't know anything about that. I'm not like super well versed with Thor comics, like
Right.
at all, actually. Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, like, I didn't hear
Like,
about that,
there's-
and I don't think.
There's another Thor character that fans are hoping would be in the movie, and that's Beta Ray Bill.
That shouldn't be
And
happening.
so it's like
The security
Thor,
system must be on the blink.
but he has like a horse's head.
Through so we can look
Right?
for a way to
Yeah,
shut it
I know
down.
that.
Yeah. So they're really hoping he was gonna make an appearance this movie, and so maybe that's why a lot of people don't like this movie, is that maybe they were trying to set him up and then they just didn't have him appear. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to see more. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, yeah, because I'm not super, like, like, it's getting to the point in the thing where it's so obscure, even for people that kind of know, unless you, like, super know about, like mega well versed in the comics and all that.
On the wall.
Yeah.
Do we have something that would fit in that?
Cause yeah, like cause I haven't heard anything about it, like, and I think I'm sure probably at some point Thor does, maybe that does happen to Thor, but I don't know if it's, cause all I know about the gore thing is that, like, he almost dies, like in the comics, is he almost dies or he does die, and then comes back and kills him. But I don't remember, like, him getting a daughter out of it and being like,
No.
yeah, it's cool, I guess. It gives him something to do, or like, you know what I mean? Because his whole thing is like, he doesn't know what he does, or doesn't have anything to fight for or something.
Yeah.
And now he kind of has like another person to do that with.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, like, yeah, like I don't know if that's accurate or happens. I mean, I'm sure it probably does. I don't know if it happens exactly with Gore though, his kid. But oh yeah. So yeah, that's it for the movie, I guess. And then they end up killing the guy. Jane ends up dying. Korg doesn't die. Other people don't die. Then we can get on. There is 2 after credit scenes, so don't skip it if you. Well, one is good. The other one was sort of like meh. I don't really.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Kind of like Doctor Strange, where one of them was really good and the other one was just kind of like, okay. I don't know if it was quite worth it to do that, to sit through it, but you know, you be the judge. So yeah, so the first one, which was, so this is the other one where it's like the 3rd or 4th ass pull of like, he's dead, but he's not.
Yeah.
Is fucking Zeus. You think he's dead because he gets fucking impaled by his own weapon from Thor. And he's alive, and his harems or whatever are like cleaning him up. He's got this wound in his chest, and he's just like, and he basically just goes like, fuck Thor, or fuck humanity and Thor. We're gonna show them.
Give it up, Octavius.
We're gonna make them fear us again, or whatever the fuck.
Now go and kill Thor.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kill Thor, Odin's son.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And then it shows Hercules.
Oh yeah, right. Just Hercules.
Which is cool.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. He's like, go kill him, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I'd watch that.
Hmm?
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Get him!
I guess that's gonna be Thor 5 or whatever.
You won't get away
Well,
with
I don't know.
Dr. Octopus.
Maybe they're saving Thor's next appearance for like a different movie too. I'm not sure.
Right. I mean, they could. But, like, it's pretty cool that, like... I mean, I guess it makes sense because they have Norse mythology, they have all this other mythology. That, that, what's it called? That, like, Hercules is also in this, and Zeus and all that. Because, like...
Yeah.
The only... I know that, like, DC also has... like, Hercules and stuff in them, and Atlas, I think. Because I know that there's... I think, right? Because I know that there's, like, this... There's also, like, even a animated one of it where, like, Superman, like, is arm wrestling, I think, Hercules and also Atlas, I think, or someone else.
Oh.
And he, like, beats them both.
Oh,
like,
wow.
like, easily or something. So, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I didn't recognize the actor. I guess it's, like, a new one. Or like a not a well-known one for Hercules.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second one is Jane, and she like materializes out of nowhere, and then she meets the guy, the Bifrost, the original Bifrost guy. I always forget his name, but and he's just like, "You're in Valhalla," and like, and then she goes, "Oh, cool, sweet," and then it just like ends there, and you're like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I guess that's cool. So I guess afterlife does exist or whatever in this universe, or at least that specific one.
Yeah. I stand by my rating, 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
It wasn't like fantastic, but it wasn't terrible either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like 7 or 8 out of 10. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I would definitely watch that over again compared to Eternals or something.
Oh god.
And
that was annoying.
Yeah.
I'll be taking my leave.
Yeah, like that, yeah, it's not like it's no Endgame or Infinity War, or Spider-Man No Way Home or something like that.
Yeah.
It was fun though.
He's heading for the roof. Let's get after him, Cap.
But yeah, I guess that's it for our review of the thing. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yep.
Leave a like and whatever and all that. Let us know what you guys, if you guys want us to watch something else too, or which other stuff you guys want us to watch. I think there's no other big Marvel ones, at least for the time being.
There's Black Adam, the DC movie.
Right, that's Black Adam. That's DC.
That's coming out in the fall.
There's Miss Marvel, which I'm watching. I know you're not. She-Hulk 2 is coming out, I think, soon. I mean, it's not bad. It's like Hawkeye. It's not... I mean, I probably wouldn't watch it again. You know, like, I wouldn't watch Hawkeye again, but, like, I don't know, it's not... It's not horrible. Or at least, for the most part. And I'm sure She-Hulk will probably be the same too, where it's like, it's not the best.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather watch Moon Knight or something again, but you know, like it's still Marvel at the end of the day. It'll be like somewhat enjoyable.
Probably, yeah.
Be, you know, better than Riverdale or something like that. But I mean, there is Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, yeah, we plan on doing. That's it for, I guess, our review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe, and all that. And yeah, see you guys in the next one, or whatever we do, whatever we end up doing.
Yeah.
And,
See you in the next one.
See you next one. Peace.
Peace.